this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Pressure has a way of revealing what remains steady. In the latest Nissan campaign, the Nissan Rogue was tested to the extreme to demonstrate that it's built to last through durability and reliability challenges inspired by real tests conducted by Nissan engineers. Brutal potholes, a steady force of water, even a jet-powered sandstorm. Each challenge inviting a deeper look at how quality, durability, and reliability hold their ground in real-world conditions. Every test was 100% real. No CG, no AI. To see how the Rogue held up, visit Nissan-durability.com.
I get a lot of questions about how I run my business and keep everything operating smoothly. And the answer is Shopify. One of the biggest advantages is discoverability. Shopify puts my products in front of customers wherever they're already shopping. And for my store, whether it's a mug, a shirt, or a hoodie, all the raindrops can get something special to call their own. I'm so pumped because Shopify is going to show up at our Black Effect Podcast Festival this year in a big way for all of our small Black-owned businesses that partner with us. Build your store, own your audience, and create something that lasts. Start now at shopify.com/BEN.
Hey everyone, it's Cal Penn. I'm inviting you to join the best-sounding book club you've ever heard with my podcast, Hearsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club. Every episode, I nerd out with amazing guests and dive into the best new audiobooks available on Audible. It's the book club for your ears. Listen to Hearsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Streaming May 22nd on Paramount Plus, the acclaimed series from executive producer Lena Waithe reaches its final chapter, The Chi. For 7 seasons, these stories, these streets, this community have stayed with us. Now it all leads to this. As friendships are tested, families evolve, and secrets refuse to stay buried. One thing is certain, The Chi is more than just a series. It's a legacy. Don't miss the final season, May 22nd on the Paramount Plus Premium Plan.
Welcome to the Black Mother Wound Podcast, a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio, where we center the stories of Black women as we heal from the painful relationships with our mothers. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Arnice. Welcome back, y'all. Happy Tuesday, or whatever day it is that you are listening or watching this podcast. I am so glad to see you back. And what has been going on around here? Girl, listen. Why was my son, nephew, my son, his last day of high school was on Friday. I have been waiting for this moment, y'all. So my baby graduates in 2 weeks. Okay? That's it. All of everything. Anybody who has been through this or going through this, if you have a teenager graduating from high school in 2026, let's just bow our heads in prayer. Praying for us, not for them. Because, baby, the way I had to drag him across the finish line. But you know why I ain't even going to say that? Because Vincent is a good kid. He going to watch this one day and be like, damn, you was really talking about me like that. Vincent is a really good kid. And he has worked really hard. So I'm not even going to front. He has done a good job. And we about to turn up. Graduation is June 1st? And it's going to be a party over here. That's all I got to say. That's really what I'm working on for the next couple weeks. And this week I am traveling. By the time this episode comes out, no. Will the surprise be out yet? No, but it'll be out very soon. So, remember, this is the episode I told y'all about something exciting that's about to happen. Okay, so let's jump into today's episode. And I am pulling from questions that you all have, that someone asked me. If you go into the show notes, whether you're on YouTube or on listening to the audio version of the podcast, there's a Ask Me Anything link. And so you can ask a question there. And I just go through them, pull ones, and we'll talk about them. sometimes I do multiples in one episode, but this deserves its own episode because I hear this one a lot. And I don't even believe that we haven't dove into this. Okay. So this is the question from the listener. What do you do when your mother is getting older, but being close to her still harms you emotionally? And so she's saying that she has been no contact with her mother, but her mother is sending guilt-based texts about her not being around much longer and she needs to come see her. And she feels torn because she knows if she opens the door, the same harmful cycle is going to possibly start up again, but she feels very guilty. Okay. There is a politically correct way to do this talk. I don't think that's what I'm going to be doing today. I really try to be as fair as possible. I try to consider as many variables as possible. And I know that I have a very hard hand. Like I'm very heavy handed physically and mentally and emotionally, and that's just, it is what it is. But I'm going to keep it a buck with this. And I feel like I'm going to come off as insensitive. I don't know if I will or not. That's what's got me torn with this episode, how I'm going to approach it. But anyway, we're going to get through it and it's going to be good. So this episode is really having a Black mother wound, being a Black daughter, especially an eldest daughter. The sense of obligation that we feel for our mother and people in general, and the way in which our identity has been shaped by how we care for others and how we abandon ourselves in that effort to care for others heavily shapes our identity and who we are. Not only that, again, the societal pressures of how our mother is supposed to be treated, how, if she raised us, how we're supposed to behave, how we're supposed to respond to her, and this overarching, and again, to me, this goes back to the Black mother wound, this sense of debt that is owed, right? And this very high level of responsibility that we carry for someone who did not care for us in the way that we needed. Okay? She didn't care for us the way that we needed and we wanted, but we were taught to care for her in the way that she needed and that she wanted. And I think this is like our first example of a relationship that doesn't have reciprocity. And the things we're measuring, they don't go together. And that's why the relationship is so off balance. But that's not the topic today, but that's just like the setup, right? And I'm not trying to tell you what to do, if you should see her, if you shouldn't see her. I'm just going to help you make a decision based off of the healing principles that we discuss here, which is your autonomy, which is prioritizing your needs and your wants and your desires. Okay. And it's really easy to get painted into a corner with a topic when you have an elderly parent and we're looking at them dying and people going to tell you all types of reasons why you should do the thing that you don't want to do, right? And obviously this reader doesn't want to go contact, but she feels guilty. And guilt is a tool of manipulation, right? So it's like, I don't want to feel guilty, so I'm going to do this thing. You're not doing the thing because you want to. You're doing the thing so you can avoid a difficult emotion. And that becomes the way we live our lives, doing things to avoid a difficult emotion, doing something to avoid being judged by others. Okay. But what we then are left with is a sense of resentment. What we are left with is the betrayal of our own selves. And it's like, well, I've been betraying myself my whole life. So I kind of know how to deal with that, but feeling guilty, that part, that's the one I don't have a coping mechanism for. And I want y'all to replace the word guilt with the word shame, because it's not guilt that you feel, is shame. It's the feeling that you are a bad person and that bad things are going to happen to you because you are a bad person. And you're a bad person because you don't have a better relationship with your mother. You're a bad person because your mother is not loving and caring and kind towards you. And so you want to avoid the feeling of shame. Okay, so I want you to take out the word guilt and pull in the word shame, because that makes you feel as though you don't have a choice in the matter. Okay, and hopefully you asking this question helps resolve some of that shame, because shame comes with sharing. And I want to let y'all know you're not a bad person if you don't want to be around someone who has been abusive to you. Now, again, societal pressure tells us that this is your mother, though. Like, that's how we keep getting beat over the head. Like, this is your mother. This is the person that gave birth to you. This is the person that sacrificed. This is the person that was there. This is the person that brought you into the world. Without them, you would not exist. And that sense of debt that is put on us is what breaks us and makes us have this this is not fun. This is not the moment to laugh. But what does Cat Williams said? Like, you have an unhealthy allegiance to losers. That's really fucked up. But that's the first thing that came to my mind. So let's hop into it. You get to define how you navigate these difficult emotions, right? And there's not a one size fits all. And that's why healing your mother wound is important, because once you learn about autonomy, you learn that there are levels, there is nuances to how you show up in the world. Okay. So I'm going to give a couple scenarios this is the thing you got to ask yourself. And this wasn't in her question. Do you want to see her? Right? Do you want to see her? Like, really examine that. And if you really want to see her, then we can put a plan together for what that looks like so you can still protect yourself. Okay? Then you have on the other side, you don't want to see her. You don't. So what is the guilt then? Is the guilt because of what other people will say? Is the guilt what she's saying to you? Like, I really want you to sit. This is why journaling is important, because there's so many feelings and emotions and so much happening in your mind that's also from the past that's leading you, that it can be hard to really siphon through it all. And that's why I'm always telling y'all, having your spiritual practice, clearing yourself out, doing your emotional oil changes so you can really sit with this and be like, do I even want to see her? And if I do, what does that look like? Okay. And what do you have to offer? Because so let's go through on one end. One end is you don't see her at all. Period. You're like, I don't see her. Let's take it up a little more. You know what I mean? I'll talk to you on the phone. Short conversations. I'll visit you in public. You're getting older. I'll meet you out at Outback and we can have dinner. then I'm going home. Like, you get to decide what that engagement is like. And you also get to have the conversation from the beginning that I will be here as long as it's peaceful for me. But as soon as you start with the bullshit, I'm out. And if that might happen on the first go round, and then it is out. Because this is the part I didn't want to say that I knew I was going to get to. That's going to sound cold. We're all going to die. Regardless, it's all going to happen to all of us. It's going to happen to her. It's going to happen to you. And when it's done, it's done. Are you trying to avoid a painful emotion? Are you, this is what people tell me. It's like, oh, when your mother dies, you're going to feel bad that you didn't talk to her. She didn't do. You don't know how I'm going to feel. I have a different relationship with death, right? Than I think a lot of people do. And I do look at it as it's a biological clock that we all have, and it happens to everybody. Doesn't mean you can't be sad. But just because somebody is your mother doesn't mean you're going to be sad. And just because somebody dies doesn't mean it makes you feel a certain way. So I want you to understand for yourself, what is that guilt about? What is that shame about? And to tend to the guilt and tend to the shame in a way that's nurturing for you. And then you can decide what you want to do. But first, you've got to do some of this work first. You've got to do this work first. Because if you don't, you're going to be going in blind, and she's going to be hit you upside the head with a foam bat. It's going to feel like the same shit from the past. Okay? So that's what I want you to think about, because you have to know what your capacity is. You have to know what that is. And you have to have your boundaries right off the bat. And you have to know, what are you getting out of it?
Hey everyone, it's Cal Penn. I'm the host of Earsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club. This week on the podcast, I am sitting down with Ray Porter, the narrator of Andy Weir's audiobook Project Hail Mary, massive sci-fi adventure about survival and science and what happens when you wake up alone very far from Earth.
I really had to make a decision because I caught myself getting that frog in my throat and starting to get teary as I'm narrating some of these sections. And it's like, okay, yo, is this indulgent? And I really thought about it. I was like, no, at this point, it would kind of be betraying the trust the author and the listener have in telling this story if I don't go through it. But there's places in this book that deeply emotionally affected me, and I left it on the mic.
That's great.
Because it served the story. People will say like, oh my God, I cried at the end. It's like, yeah, dude, me too.
Listen to Earsay, the Audible and iHeart audiobook club on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Protect your pet with insurance from Pets Best. Plans start from less than $1 a day. Visit PetsBest.com. Pet insurance products offered and administered by Pets Best Insurance Services, LLC, are underwritten by American Pet Insurance Company or Independence American Insurance Company. For terms and conditions, visit www.petsbest.com/policy. Products are underwritten by American Pet Insurance Company, Independence American Insurance Company, or MS Transverse Insurance Company, and administered by Pets Best Insurance Services, LLC. $1 a day premium based on 2024 average new policyholder data for accident and illness plans, pets age 0 to 10.
Let's talk about modern home shopping. It's sort of become a fun side hobby, right? Scrolling listings at night, dreaming about kitchens you've never seen, or backyards you haven't even stepped foot in, all from the comfort of pretty much anywhere. Redfin knows a lot of people like you want to own, but are stuck in this browsing mode loop. That's where Redfin flips the script. With listings that update within minutes and tours you can book right from the Redfin app, you can see your dream home the moment it appears. Now, liking a listing is easy, but actually landing it, that's where Redfin comes in. Redfin has over 2,200 agents with local expertise. And Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. That means they want to help you win, not just window shop. Redfin is built to help you go from just looking to wait, this could actually be home. So become the newest neighbor on the block. Visit redfin.com to start finding and start owning. That's redfin.com.
This is Radhi Devlukia from A Really Good Cry. Most wellness routines fail somewhere between day one motivation and where did I put that powder? That's where Groons comes in. Groons packs over 20 vitamins and minerals, greens and prebiotics into a snack pack of tiny, delicious gummies. No powders, no pills, just a simple way to support gut health, beauty, energy, immunity, recovery, and cognition. Plus, the ingredients in Groons are backed by over 35,000 research publications. It's a convenient, comprehensive formula designed for real life. Get up to 52% off with code CRY at Groons.co. That's code CRY at GRUNS.co.
Are you getting out of it that maybe she'll change, that maybe there's a moment, there's a glimpse where you all can connect and you can feel the mother, feel the relationship that you've always wanted? Do you want to be able to say when it's all over and tell people, yeah, my mother, she treated me like shit and I still took care of her in the end. I still made a way over there. I was still a good daughter. Why do you want to go? What is in it for you? And if any of it is you attaching a sense of your identity or your sense of worth, then you're doing it for the wrong reason, because nothing can make you more worthy of love. Nothing's going to make you a better or worse person. That's just not how it works. So again, that's why it's important to do this work, because you've got to train your inner little girl to know that she is in all circumstances. She has to have an allegiance to herself first, and then she can move from there. That's why, like, when we talk about healing your Black mother wound, the conversation really isn't about the relationship you have with your mother. It's about the relationship you have with yourself, and then that will impact how and if you engage with her, and how and if you do it in a way that leaves you still feeling whole and safe. Anything less than that is self-abuse. Even if she is your mother, even if she is old, even if she is at the end of life. That's something that folks should have thought about before they got there. Because we knew we was going to get here. And I don't like to talk about people's mamas. I don't even really want to talk about my own mama. I don't talk bad about her, I don't think. But if somebody is telling you that they want to see you because they're getting old and they're about to die, that's kind of fucked up. Because if you're about to die or you're elderly, I would rather you say to me, we've missed a lot of time and I won't be here long, so I want to see you. I would like to mend, fix, come to terms with something. But for the mental and emotional labor to be put on you because she's getting older, that already sounds like manipulation. And because it's used so prevalently, even society uses it, it seems like it's justified manipulation. But I don't think it is. And this is a hard one. This is why I can't tell you what to do. I can't. But what I can say is nothing you do will make you less worthy of love. Nothing you do will take away from who you are and your goodness as a person. I'm always fighting for the rights of your inner little girl. That's who I'm always rooting for. That's who I'm always advocating for. So that's what I'm going to ask you is, what's your inner little girl say? What does she want to do? Right? And if the adult version of you has decided that you're going to engage, then you first need to do some work with your inner little girl so she feels safe and understands what's happening. And you can't bullshit her either. You got to give her the reals, like, this is my mother and I would like to see her. Now, again, that don't mean you got to see her every week. What do you want? Do you want to do a one-time visit? Do you want to do a weekly call? Do you want to try and like have a relationship because she's older. Come on now. Come on. Now, you know, that's probably, if y'all was going to have that kind of relationship, y'all would have already had it. She would have already said something, or you would be telling me that she's saying the right things. But just her being old, and then what? Because then you got to ask yourself, why does she want to see you? Why does she want to see you? Does she miss you? Does she want to repair? Does she want to, like, why? That's the question. That's what you need to ask her. Why do you want to see me? She's going to say, because I'm getting old. No, but why do you want to see me? How does it benefit you from seeing me? Why do you want to be around me? Why do you want to talk to me? Why do you want me to be in your space? What is it going to do for you? Can she answer that question? Or is she going to blow you off and be like, never mind, you always trying to do too much. Trying to, again, gaslight and manipulate you. This is how you're going to find the answers to your specific question. And I actually think that's a great conversation to have because it's a clarifying conversation. We never got the clarity we needed growing up. We looking at what's happening, and then she telling us something else is happening, and society is agreeing with her and got us feeling like we're crazy. So we never got the clarity. We never understood why she acted like this. And you still might not get an answer for why she's doing it. But you will know why she ain't doing it. You will know that it's not because of care. It's not because of love. It's not because of building a relationship. Okay? And then you can decide on what that engagement looks like for you. You might say, I don't know what, it might be nothing. Because if you already know contact, I doubt you're going to go into, I'm going to call you every Monday and check on you. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But you also got to know that at any moment you can pull that access back and say, because I told you in the beginning, if you act this way, I'm not going to be fooling with you. Right? This is work. And now that I think about it, this is a great space for you to practice. Y'all hate when I do this. I know. Because you're not looking for the fairy tale happy ending outcome if you reach out to her and you engage in some of these conversations. But what it does give you is the ability to practice your autonomy and your authority with a person who's at the core of the relational wound, because you're right. She is elderly. She won't be here after a while. But this is a great space to practice. Get it wrong, fall off the horse, get back on the horse, try it again. I mean, you can. Until you get to a point where you like, you know what? I've learned the lesson. I've had enough. I've made peace with it. I'm good. And no one else has to validate that for you. Nobody else has to agree with you on how you go about doing that, which again is a part of your healing process and your autonomy building. When you say, I have said enough is enough. I have made peace with it, even if I'm in the minority, even if this is not what society says I should do, even if everybody around me is telling me how I'm gonna feel if I don't do this and what it's gonna look like based off of their fucking experience. And they probably lying anyway. Because they haven't done the work. This is actually great practice. This is great practice for you to be reparenting your inner little girl. Great conversations for you to even be having with her about how do you feel about the woman that raised you, your mother, coming to the end of her life. How do you think you're going to feel when she passes? How do you want to handle it? Are you going to the funeral? Are you planning the funeral? Are you paying for the funeral? I know these seem like morbid things, but at this age, these are things we're thinking about when you have older parents and what it looks like for you to honor yourself. And is there a sense of how you would like to honor the relationship with her? And what does that look like for you? It could be not showing up to anything whatsoever. I don't know. And guess what? Nobody can tell you what's right. But what I can say is this is a great opportunity for you to be practicing having hard conversations with yourself first and foremost, and trying some things out with her. But you're not trying these things out trying to change her. Do not go into this trying to fix her. You are going into this with, how do I stay in my body? How do I stay associated with myself when I engage with her? And when I start to feel like I am either abandoning myself or retreating into myself and disassociating and losing myself in the moment, how do I snap back out of it and come back to myself? Whether that is by doing something in the space or by leaving or by activating your boundary. What does that look like? You need the practice. You need the practice. This is a great opportunity for that, right? And I think this is a way to rewrite rules. We were taught that we are responsible for other people's happiness because we were raised and modeled that our mother's happiness, right? Our mother's, and sometimes she wasn't even happy. Her calm, her whatever it is that we needed from her was predicated on us managing her emotions for her. And now that's why you feeling guilty, because you feel responsible for how she feels. But you've got to come out of that. And if you can learn that with her, it's going to be a lot easier coming out of it with other people, because I guarantee you're doing it with other people. You are doing it with other people also. Okay. So when you create that distance, that's where the guilt, that's where the shame comes in. But it isn't real. It's not real. That's what I want you to know. You're not guilty and you have nothing to be ashamed of, and you're not a bad person. And there is no obligation on you as a daughter. There isn't any. You get to make the rule. You get to decide. Ain't nobody else got to like it whatsoever. But here are a couple questions you can ask yourself. What am I afraid will happen if I stay away and you don't contact her? What am I hoping will be different this time? Why am I engaging? Why am I doing it? And what has her pattern shown me over time? What is her pattern shown me over time? And sit with these. Sit with these. Don't let her rush you. Don't let anybody rush you. Okay? This is not an easy topic. And that's why it's like, to have this topic, it's not like, 30 minutes, we in, we out, you figure it out. It's an easy answer. You probably will go through some painful emotions. That's why the healing work is important. It's for these moments. You building the relationship with yourself so you have a greater capacity to go through these difficult, challenging moments. So you can be there for yourself. This is really the time for that. That's why I'm saying it's a great opportunity to practice it. Okay? That's all I got for you. That's it. Sending you a big hug on this one because it's challenging and nobody knows how they're going to feel. But I don't want you to go into this process or any other with the mindset of wanting to mitigate difficult emotions or difficult conversations. Okay. And that little girl in you comes first. Checking in with her constantly, a whole bunch. Okay? That's what's really important. Okay? All right. That's all I have today. I love y'all. I'll be back next Tuesday. Send me your questions if you have any. I think I'm going to do this again next Tuesday as far as pulling some of these audience questions. Love you dearly. Talk to you soon. Bye. The Black Mother Wound Podcast is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network.
This is Radhi Devlukia from A Really Good Cry. A lot of wellness routines start with motivation and end somewhere between week 2 and a half-use supplement drawer. Grunes was created to make daily nutrition simpler. Instead of pills or chalky green drinks, Grunes packs over 20 essential vitamins and minerals, greens and prebiotics into a snack pack of delicious gummies. It feels approachable and not demanding. The convenient, comprehensive formula supports gut health, beauty, energy, immunity, recovery, and cognition in one daily habit. Grunes contains 6 grams of fiber, which is more than 2 cups of broccoli, and the ingredients in Grunes are backed by 35,000 research publications, which is part of what makes the formula so intentional. Grunes is vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, and made without artificial colors or flavors. Plus, it's methylated, so key nutrients like B12 and folate are in forms your body can actually use. It's comprehensive nutrition designed for routines you can actually stick with. Get up to 52% off with code CRY at grunes.co. That's code CRY at gruns.co.
You're listening to a podcast, so you're doing something else too, like maybe scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving places you like without thinking you'll get them, because that's what house hunting has become. But Redfin isn't built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, which means when you find a place you love, you've got a real shot at getting it. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Here's another mouth-watering recipe idea from Maruchan, the world's finest rice vinegar. Try a Maruchan hot chicken sandwich with pickled cucumbers, made with chilies, garlic, and the vibrant, zesty flavor of Maruchan genuine brewed rice vinegar. Or go sweet and savory with Maruchan Seasoned Gourmet, a flavor bomb for veggies and grilled proteins. Get the green label for genuine brewed or the orange label for seasoned gourmet. Then check out ricevinegar.com for more delicious recipes. Because the food you love is better with Maruchan.
Get a full body reset anywhere you go with Dr. Teal's Magnesium Spray. It's a concentrated magnesium blend of pure Epsom and Dead Sea salts, all bundled up in a convenient on-the-go bottle. A few quick sprays will relax your body and mind and keep you feeling recharged all day long. It's wellness you can feel, and you can find it in your local bath aisle. Dr. Teal's. Yep, you needed that.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.